Yo, what the hell is wrong with you, yo? Like, what, because you can't enjoy your Saturday, we all can't enjoy our Saturday in peace. Like,
We
I
gotta
don't.
get them. We gotta get the people what they want. They want the content, as you can see. Sure agree. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Heroes Peak quick peek. I am James, your moderator for this afternoon. I have also with me Keith. Keith,
You.
what's going on? Nice shirt, Alpha Phi Alpha, very incorporated. We have a special guest today as well, my lovely daughter Serena.
Hello.
Yo.
And today's topic is it's a one-off from my typical genre and conversation pieces. It has to do with the ABC show called The Bachelor. Yes, The Bachelor. So on Friday, yesterday, ABC Good Morning America announced for the first time that we would have a African American bachelor, which broke the internet for a little bit. It had a lot of reaction, some positive, some negative. You know, this climate that we live in, which isn't new because the show itself has had an African American contestant before. In 2017, we had our first African American bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay, and her show. I don't think the ratings went well for her show, but it was a pretty big milestone for the show. For 20 plus years, it had no person of color be deemed as a bachelor or bachelorette. Now we're switching gears to the first African American male as a bachelor. So of course, I did a little research because I'm a fan of the show, and as well as Serena. I know Keith, you're a newbie to the show. That's fine. So his name is Matt James. Great name, by the way. Very strong name. He actually is 28 years old, which is pretty average for bachelor and bachelorette contestants. He is a Wake Forest University graduate, 2014, 6'5", played wide receiver for the college team and tried out for the NFL. Fortunately, was cut by the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints. He's currently working in real estate, a big company called CBRE. His degree was in economics when he was in college. So it looks like his resume is pretty strong, pretty solid as far as his bio is concerned. So let me start. My first real question is, what do you believe it will be the impact to the show, just the show, having a black bachelor on air on ABC? Let's start with Serena.
Okay. I think it's great that they have like a black bachelor now. You know, it's been a long time coming, but I think that right now it just seems very forced. Like it shouldn't have had to come about because of like everything that's going on. It should have just happened on its own. I think they had so many chances to do a black bachelor because they do have contestants who are of color that they could have chosen, but I don't think the impact will be as great because with Rachel Lindsay's season, it may be because she was a woman, I'm not sure, it might be that, but she didn't have as many if the viewers didn't change, I think it's just going to be the same.
Okay. So. Good point. The timing of this is very, it's an issue for some. Whether you like him being the bachelor or not, the timing does seem kind of forced. Keith, what are your thoughts?
I would agree with you about the timing if I wasn't more familiar with like how long these things actually take to put together. So it couldn't have actually been started right now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this might be a case of like the movement kind of like impacting what was already going to probably happen. Like this is months of preparation for this kind of thing. So it couldn't have been just now. Like it just, that's not how TV is produced.
That's a good point because unlike some of the other podcasts, I did some research on this and I realized that Matt James is actually connected with the show already. One of the previous contestants, Tyler Cameron, is best friends with Matt James. and he's heavily featured on Tyler's Instagram and social media accounts. So I think the point may have been that he is already, like, he was connected somewhat to the show because of Tyler, and he may have been already been qualified and vetted to be on the show at some point. Now, maybe ABC pulled the triggers, earlier than.
I think that's more it than anything else. Which that I can totally understand because they're still in a business, and to tell you the truth, this would be the best time for them to pull that trigger. Like in terms of views and this, that, and the other, their sensitivities right now, like so they're gonna get all of that in terms of a bump up. But I honestly don't feel like it was in production for this moment.
That's a very good point. I kind of want to segue a little bit to one last question is, what do you believe is going to be America's reaction? Because I remember we watched when Rachel was on the show, and the publicity wasn't as good as it was for some of the other, typical style Caucasian American contestants.
When was that? Was that during the Obama years?
Yes. No, actually, no. It was the first. 2017, the second year of Trump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm curious. I'm just curious what will be the reaction, because this show's not going to air, I think, till the fall, if even that.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is going to be America's reaction to Matt, his character on the show?
I mean, I think it really depends on Matt himself, like how he, because this is more his personality. There have been seasons in the past where it's like we're excited for one, and then we find out, oh, they're not interesting. The people they have in the cast aren't interesting. So it's really about like what we see. I also want us to say, like, I'm not sure how they're gonna do with the casting. Like, I know for some of them they do preferential, and then there's other times where it's like they have like 4 Black women, and there's. So just to get a little variety there, or if they're going to have a majority, I'm not sure.
Good question. I wasn't there about that, because he gets to pick who the contestants are going to be on his show. So there's 20 women. Is he going to like Baskin Robbins it? Like, a bunch of different backgrounds.
Oh, the Bachelor gets to pick his own contestants?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
All of them? He picks all of them?
Final say, but he gets to like go through the catalog of this type of women he wants to see on the show. Obviously, the executive producers, they get the final say of who's on the show. But he does get first, not first pick, but he does get a say.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that part. Well, if he doesn't have final say, then we really can't speak too much on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that corrupts the product of, like, whatever women they end up with.
Yeah.
We can't say it's 100% his pick, so I can't really have a discussion about his pick.
Okay. Well, we'll see. ABC hasn't announced when they're going to release the show, because obviously the whole world isn't going through the pandemic phase right now with COVID-19. So we'll follow this news very, very close to the chest. That's all. So everyone, thank you.
Well, one thing though, on the picking though, I'm interested to see as the show plays out who he picks. Like that's more to me, more like the in-show picks are definitely more telling about like his personality, and he's 28, so like
he's young.
He fits into that next generation very squarely, like behind us. And so I'd be interested to see like what his thoughts are, and who, like, what the playing field looks like, and who he ends up like really gelling with. I find it interesting. I think it's going to be a nice little social.
So this is the season you're going to watch. You're going to watch with us.
I've watched them before. Like, I've watched the earlier seasons. It's just like I just grew out of it. Like, it wasn't, and I was watching it with I think a girlfriend at the time, or whatever it was. Like, I never would probably watch that show by myself of my own volition.
All right. Thank you for your.
But now that Serena's watching it, I gotta watch.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like button, subscribe to Heroes Peak Podcast. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Peace.
All right.